it's me, Alexa, and today I'm going to be talking about my 10 favorite Indian films that I watched in 2019. So I was gonna make it into like 2 parts, so I talked about like my top 5 favorite films that came out in 2019, and then also my top 10 that I watched, but in the top 10 that I watched, there are 6 films from 2019, so it's pretty much the same list. So we'll just give it all together in this top 10. I'm gonna only talk a little bit about each movie because I don't want to make this video go too long and ramble on too much. Some of them I've already given reviews for, so I'll leave links to those. Alright, to start it off, number 10 is a Tamil film, which is actually the only Tamil film I have seen, I think, so let's make that number higher in 2020, but it did make it onto the top 10. It is the movie Petta. It is directed by Karthik Subbaraj, and it stars none other than Rajnikant. The music of the film was by Anirudh Ravichandra, who I'm a big fan of his voice. Overarchingly, the entire story of Petta was really like fun and original, and it had like some nice twists in it. And Rajnikant did a great job he's doing great, especially for his age. I mean, I will say that some of the fight choreography was a little not good. You could see a lot of misses, and like it felt very like 2 performers like fake hitting each other at some points, but I think overarchingly they did a really good job of working with him and his movability due to his age as they worked around those intense fight scenes, and I think overarchingly it was really well done. I think the main reason that put Petta on this list was the story itself, and I think that it was like a newer story that I hadn't really seen before. It had some nice fun new twists to it. There's like a big twist at one point that really like brings a new light to Rajnikant's character and like the choices he's made, and I thought that was really fascinating to explore that more with your lead hero character. So yeah, that's why it is in my top 10. Number 9, this one will probably, I feel like, be the most controversial on here. I don't know, it got a lot of hate, this movie. It is the Telugu film Vidya Rama. I saw it beginning of the year in theaters, and I've rewatched it since, and I know it's not the best made movie. This is gonna like make me lose credit as a filmmaker, but I just really enjoyed it. Like genuinely, I went in, it was fun, high energy, and I left and I mean, the songs from it are also some of my favorite songs. I guess I can say who's in it, can't I? So it is directed by Boya Putti Srinu, and it stars Ram Charan and Kiara Advani. And the music is by DSP, or Devi Sri Prasad. So the music from this, I think, continues to be some of my favorite indie music. It's not, I don't know if it's my top favorite. I'm trying to debate between 2 movies in my head right now. No, it's probably my second favorite music, but a movie higher up on the list will be my first. But I do like Thasa Dia, Ekbar, all the songs from it are on multiple playlists of mine, and I listen to them very often. Thasa Dia might be one of like my favorite. Might be, I think it's like my second favorite Indian song right now. Well, I'll tell you the first one whenever we get to that movie later on. I think just the whole atmosphere of it was so fun, and I liked the story of the brothers. I felt emotion in it, so yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's not the best made movie in the entire world, but I went in and had a lot of fun as an audience member, and therefore it is number 9. Alright, let's move on to number 8. This is another Telugu film. It is mostly Telugu films, as yeah, I think the list is almost all Telugu films, but there's a couple others. This movie is Saira Narasimha Reddy. So this, I guess all these ones I've just said all came out in 2019, so here's my like 5 or 6, 5, and 4 of my top ones from last year. So Saira Narasimha Reddy was directed by Surendra Reddy and starred Chiranjeevi, Nainathara, and Tamana. The music was by Julius Pakiam and Amit Trivedi. And it was just such a well-crafted story. Again, a lot of the ones I'm going to talk about, besides the last one, it'll be about the story and just how well made it was, because this took a huge, like, historical event that has so much emotion and impact in it that it just, I mean, it was really cool. And then Chiranjeevi brought so much to that character. He was able to show so much emotion. Like, this is the only Chiranjeevi film I've seen. I've seen some of his songs and like a few clips of him, but I've never seen a full movie of his besides this one. And I immediately knew why he is a mega star. And I know that he even got the name because of like his dancing and back. He like has done a lot to help advance and like change the Telugu film industry. He's done like a lot in that. But the acting in this movie was just phenomenal, and that coupled with such an impactful story that they were able to deliver so well. I mean, I had a few things that I didn't love about it, as you can hear about. I have a full movie review. I'll link it down below. I won't spend too much time talking about it here, but yeah, that is definitely on this top 10. Next, we have Rangasthalam, which came out in 2018. So this movie is directed by Sukumar, and it stars Ramcharan, as well as Samantha, Arhi, and Jagapati Babu. And the music is again by DSP. So Rangasthalam, again, I just thought it had a great story. I mean, the whole character arc of Ramcharan's character, the use of the not able to hear in one ear was very comical and also helped the story a lot. And it was just, there are so many, I mean, Sukumar is a really talented filmmaker, and he's a very talented storyteller, and he uses film as his outlet. He's able to take all these little pieces and characters and situations and just all of it and make it add up to this beautiful, wonderful story that fully encapsulates you and makes you just into it. And I think that was extremely successful with Rangasthalam. Sukumar, I've heard it from you guys, I've heard it from many people that he's just a really talented filmmaker, and I mean, it's just shown in everything he does. Alright, so now we have a Kannada film. I'm sure you can guess what it is. KGF Chapter 1. So I know it came out in 2018. I did watch it last year, and I also have a full review of that. If you have any interest in watching it, I'll leave the link in the description. And yeah, so this movie is directed by Prashant Neel, starring Yash and Srindidhi Shetty, and the music is by Ravi Basrar. KGF Chapter 1, for being just the first half of the story, is a complete package. It has the fact that it's gonna be a chapter 2, which I'm extremely excited for, is just very impressive, because I know,
what am I trying to say? What's the words?
Yash as the lead role, he does such a phenomenal job of just really delivering everything, and it's a different film from I've seen. It's based on true events, so there's some, the fact that the gold mines and stuff is real, but I know the actual story and what happens is not real. So I think that in itself is pretty interesting, that it's in a real historical place in kind of vaguely true setting, or true situation. So I think that adds to the story a lot, and then putting him in a situation, there's so much that happens, and it's similar to the side of Nancy Marathi lower in the list, which is, it has that beautiful telling of the atrocities of the past, because there's so many moments that are just raw, and how could they do that, and it just really adds and makes you feel the emotion of the characters and why he's so driven towards his goal, and it makes you root for him so much that I'm really excited for chapter 2. Alright, on to number 5. We're halfway. We're at the halfway. Woo! This is the oldest movie on the list, and it is indeed Aarya, another Sukumar film. This one stars Allu Arjun, as well as Anu Mehta, and the music is by DSP again. He's very popular. Aarya is Sukumar's first film, which in itself, I think that says everything you need to know about Sukumar as a filmmaker, because this film in itself, if I didn't know any better, I would have thought it was a veteran filmmaker. He has such good control over what is happening on screen and how everything is paced out and put together. He has such a strong sense as a director. If you watch the movie, you can tell it's Sukumar, because he has that presence and style that he is so committed to, and he just executes it so well, his ideas, and so it's truly phenomenal. And then, of course, it stars Allu Arjun, which is also a plus. It also has some really fun songs from DSP, so it really just has a lot going for it, which is why it's at number 5. So yeah, that's all I really say about Aarya. Just, again, the Sukumar, he's just so talented, and I'm excited to see more of his films. Next, we have another Allu Arjun film, sitting at number 4, which is Son of Satya Murthy. This one is by Trivikram, who I'm also a big fan of. He just had his film Ala Vaikunta Pramalu, which I'm sure will be on my list for 2020. So it stars Allu Arjun as well, and as I said, and it also stars Samantha, who is also one of my favorite Telugu actresses. She's on here now so far twice, and she's might be coming in again later on. Stick around. It also stars Upendra and Nithya Menon, and the music is by none other than DSP. Again, it's similar to Sukumar, but they have their own styles, but the reason that they're both so great is they're so, they have such distinct stories. Like, they both work so hard to craft these amazing moments and pieces that it's just so fun to watch. And I think that Trivikram has a great grasp on exactly what makes a great film. I've seen a couple of his films now. I think I've seen 4 of his films? 5? 4? 5 of his films. And I always almost forget that he did Aravinda Samantha. Yeah, he just does a great job. Ugh. So yeah, I mean, again, it's really story. A lot of these, the reason they make it on my list is the story, and this one is not an exception to that. Trivikram, he's just very talented, and I'm excited to see more of his work as I continue to watch more and more Indian films, because yeah, him and Sukumar are really talented. There's a lot of other extremely talented filmmakers as well, but they both have such a distinct story, like way of telling stories in their own ways, that I personally just really enjoy, and I'm excited to see more. Alright, on to our top 3. We have number 3. This one might be more controversial, actually. Yeah, it probably will be than Vidya Rama. We have Saho. So, Saho got a lot of mixed reviews, and it is because Sujith, which is his second film, and he was extremely ambitious, and I think that overall he did a good job. I think that the story was really well thought out. There were so many little pieces that added up to every moment in the end. There was never a single thing that did not make sense. Like, it was just so detailed. Like, everything down to the smallest detail added up to make whatever happened next. And that is a really difficult feat to do, especially with having this high action that they had. I've done some research into some of the visual effects they did, and I didn't know this whenever I went into the movie, but the entire city, pretty much, like the main one that they use, is CGI. I thought it was just some city in India I hadn't heard of, I'm not gonna lie, because I don't know the names of all the cities in India, so whenever they gave the name, I was like, oh cool, haven't heard of that one yet, I wonder where it is. And then I was looking it up after, and I was like, oh, that's not real. So the fact that they were able to create such a realistic city with the CGI in itself was so impressive. And there was some rough CGI work, alright? Not everything looked super believable, but I think just it was such a well done story, and I think this might have been a better third film for Sujith. I think he could have maybe gotten a bit more learning at crafting that action and how it all pieces together, but I think that it's a really smart film, and it's one of those films you have to watch twice, which I love, because I love movies that afterwards I walk away and I'm thinking about it, and I'm trying to piece together that story more and realizing different things. Like, if I walked away from Saho, there's so many little details that I noticed. This movie did come out quite a while ago, but I don't want to give any spoilers, so I'll just say the coffee shop scene, whenever they call out the name of whose coffee it is, think about that, because that is really smart. Because once you know, like, the twist and everything, like, it makes sense, and it has a completely different message than what it does whenever you first watch it. So that is just, I love those kind of things, where there's just these little details where you're like, oh, that means this, and then later on you discover, oh, wait a second, that actually means something completely opposite, and it was a hint at this big plot twist that we had no idea about. So it's just so well executed, and there's so many little moments in Saho, that is why it's on my top. That's why it's number 3 on my list, because I just think it was so well crafted. So whether you loved it or hated it, the story was really well crafted. Did I talk about who was in it? That movie's, so it said it was directed by Sujith, but it stars Prabhas, Shraddha Kapoor, Murali Sharma, and the music is by Gibran. So it's just exceptional. They all do an amazing job. The music's not my all-time favorite. I wasn't a big fan of the song Bad Boys. I'm still medium on it, but I did really like the song, the Psycho Scion, some of the other ones were really well done. I do have a couple of those on lists, on my playlist. Yeah, overall, well executed movie. Alright, we're on to number 2. So, this movie is Oh Baby. So this movie also came out in 2019, same as Saho. It's directed by B.V. Nandini Reddy, and it stars Samantha Akkanani, who is probably my favorite Indian actress, Lakshmi, who's also up there, Nagasharya, very talented, Rajendra Prasad, and Rao Ramesh, and Urvashi. The music is by Mickey J. Meyer. I mean, overall, I honestly wasn't a huge fan of the music of the film, but I just thought it was such a fun story. And I afterwards actually discovered that it's a remake of a Korean film called Miss Granny, so I do want to watch that. But just the whole concept of an old woman becoming young and then still acting like an old woman. Like whenever she started hitting people with her sandal, that just cracked me up. I was laughing so much in this movie. Then they also hit you with the feels a few times, you know? It's just, I mean, it's just really well done. And I like, everyone acted in it superbly. I love Rajendra Prasad in it. They make him look so old, and he just does such a good job. And Lakshmi is phenomenal, and yeah, it's just such a fun movie. That's really the main word to encapsulate that one, and it's just, I like it a lot. I think Oh Baby was just, everything about it, it was so well comedically timed. Samantha, she really did a phenomenal job in that film. Like every moment she was just killing it and phenomenal. And so that really added to it for me and made it even more fun and exciting. And yeah, so and then Rajendra Prasad's hilarious. His comedic timing is perfect. I think there are so many scenes where he just had me cracking up. And there's so many scenes that everyone just had me cracking up. It was so well crafted, well timed, well paced. Like, it just added up to be a really great film that I thoroughly enjoyed. If you haven't seen it, I definitely recommend it. All right, we are to number 1. So this movie, I'm gonna try not to talk too much about it because I love this movie. It is Nanni's Gang Leader. It is directed by Vikram Kumar, and it stars, this is the longest list, Nanni, Kartikeya Priyanka Rul Mohan, Lakshmi, Saranya Anish Kuravia, Priyadarshi, Raghubabu, Vanilla Kishore, Baija, Pranya, and Satya. And the music is by Anirudh Chavachandra. And this has my favorite song, which is Hoina Hoina. I am obsessed with that song. I have listened to it far too many times, but I'm still excited to listen to it more. All the songs from this I absolutely loved, but specifically Hoina is like, it's so good. This movie was again just so well done. The whole concept of this guy being like a famous like mystery novelist, or not famous, but he's written a lot, and then Lakshmi's character read all his books, so she thinks that he's perfect at revenge, but really he's just ripping off old Hollywood films, and so then they kind of discover that and force him to help them anyways. How they each work together to just become the family and kind of become that missing piece in each other's lives is truly beautiful, and it was just executed, I want to say perfectly. I've seen this movie twice, and so the first time, I just kind of enjoyed it, and I still analyzed it a little, and the second time I went in a bit more analytical, and I just couldn't find things really to critique. I mean, there's some little nitpicky things, of course, but I can't even remember if there were any of those. So if they were any, they were so insignificant that I can't remember them. All I can think of is how well crafted and well thought out the movie was. There's so many little things, and there's another plot twist in this, and then once you know it, there's all these little pieces that led up to that plot twist, and everyone's acting is so good. Nanni, he's phenomenal, and all of the women, everyone does such a good job, and it makes for such like a fun, heartwarming film that you can really enjoy with anyone can enjoy this film, in my opinion. It's just a nice, wholesome film, like feel good. It still has those emotions in it, and it has amazing music that you can bop to, and great acting alongside that really well thought out and well executed story, and it's just, I really like Nanni's Gang Leader. Alright, so that is my top 10 Indian films that I watched in 2019, and then also my top 6 films that came out in 2019. In case you missed it, their order: 6 was Petta, 5 was Vidya Rama, 4 is Saira Nancy Marathi, and then of course 3, 2, 1 were Saho, Oh Baby, and Nanni's Gang Leader. The same top 3 as the ones I watched in 2019. Yeah, I really do love all these movies for some of them similar reasons, but all of them are different films and were executed differently and done well in their own right. So yeah, I really liked all these films a lot. I'm excited to continue to watch more and more Indian films and see what my list looks like for 2020. Okay, so I think I'll stop talking your ears off now. Let me know all of your thoughts down below. What are your favorite films from 2019? The ones that came out or just ones that you watched? let me know. And thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. If you did, feel free to hit that like button and subscribe, and I hope that you have a wonderful day. Bye.